What's up? What's up? I'm taking a working break. So I am working on my second book. Probably one of the best things that I've written, honestly. My first book is available to purchase on Amazon. You can find the link in my bio. But this one is very personal. It's in the line of self-help, self-development, and I have to take breaks when I write this book in between, you know, chapters and paragraphs because it is very raw, very honest, very open. I'm sharing a lot, and the reason I'm sharing so much is because I want to help people. You know, one of the things that I've been saying since I've started my coaching business is there has to be purpose in my pain. But I also feel like writing this book, it's a little therapeutic. I feel like I'm taking myself through therapy. But what I want to share with you today that has been coming up in this book, that's come up in this, what I'm writing now, is the concept of fight, flight, or freeze, and how we learn that. You know, I love the mental health industry, the coaching industry. I love it so much. I think we need it. But also, I am very aware of how sometimes, there can be a bit of a drawback because it sometimes feels like to me that it doesn't get to the core of the issue. And when we don't get to the core of the issue, we'll always be dealing with the surface. We'll always be dealing with what we see. But the real work, the work that I feel like is the most healing work, is when we get to why. Why do you do the shit that you do? Why do you feel the way that you feel? For example, with this fight, flight, or freeze, I realized that for me, my response is to freeze. And I freeze because I was taught to freeze from a very, very young age. And I understand some of these things are very cultural. And when we can get to the cultural aspect of it, you know, in my culture, when you are being yelled at, when you are being disciplined, when you are being hit, you don't talk back. You stay there, you keep quiet. You keep quiet until it is done when you are told to leave. And what I'm understanding now with the body, when we say the body remembers, and so a lot of the things that have happened in my life, one of the stories that I'm sharing in the book is when I was in a public taxi in Johannesburg and I was sitting next to this guy at 7 o'clock in the morning on my way to school, and he started jerking off right next to me, and I saw the whole thing. My reaction was to freeze. I remember just freezing, not moving, not doing anything until I got to school, and it was the same guy who tapped me on the shoulder because I was so out of it that I didn't even realize that I was at school already, and the taxi driver kept yelling, and he's the one to sort of like wake me up from whatever trance that I was in. And so I learned and I realized that in my life, my response is to freeze. It is to not do anything. And that carries on when I'm feeling overwhelmed, when I'm feeling pain, when I'm feeling whatever negative emotion that I'm feeling. My response, my reaction, the way my ego works is to freeze. And so the greater thing, though, is that when I realize that now, is that I can go, oh, Kanye, you are freezing. Do something different because I am aware. And I'm always really careful, you guys, to not say, hey, you're doing this because of this, in a way that disempowers you or in a way that makes you feel like a victim. But I believe that when you can get to the why do I react this way? Why do I sometimes call myself a runner? Because I fucking run. You know, I run when things get hard. I run when I don't know what to do. And so why do I run? Why do I do that? When I can understand the why of how I react, that in itself, that knowledge, that awareness is empowering because I'm going to know how to act differently. So I want you to be reminded of that as much as you have all these things that you are dealing with in your life, be it, you're somebody who freezes, you're somebody who runs, you're somebody who's labeled themselves as unmotivated, as afraid of failing, whatever it is, the real work, the work that will really get you to not do that shit anymore, is to say, why do I do this? To really think through your life. We are so afraid to pay attention. We are so afraid to go back to those dark times because those dark times are scary. We are so afraid to go back to those things that have really caused us harm and pain and discomfort because they are very scary. So what I want you to think through, number one, when you think about how do I react? How does my ego freak out? How do I react when I'm uncomfortable? And then put that down. Say, I freeze, I run. Think about every situation in your life where you have felt incredible discomfort and how you dealt with it. And then what you do is write why. And I want you to take that time to sit in that discomfort of the why. Why do I do this? What happened? What happened to me that I have learned to respond in this way? What happened to my body that has caused me to learn to respond this way? And you can recalibrate and you can work intentionally. That's the word we are working with this month and this year. It is intention. Last year was pivot. This year is intention. When we can work with intention and saying, I am going to choose to act differently because I am not that kid anymore. I am not that teenager sitting in that taxi with this man jerking off anymore. If somebody did that to me today, I'll probably cut their shit off, really. Not today. I'm not that person. And because when we can do that work of figuring out what happened to us, what happened to me, what made me this way, then we can move forward. Because now we are aware and we understand that we are not those people anymore. Anyway, that's the thing that I want to leave you with. My book is going to be coming out in the next few weeks and I'm really excited. But like I said, you can go grab Traveling While Black and Lesbian. It's on Amazon. It is, I love it. It's good. And I'm really excited for this book that I'm writing now. The title is still in the works. It's in the works, but we'll get to it. But yeah, just think about your life. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to yourself. I love you.